Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Sunday morning? Hope everyone is doing good, getting a good start to their week. Morning, Mr. Ed, Mr. Robin, Mr. John, Mr. Louie. Hope you gentlemen are doing great this morning. Sounds like Louie's off to the post office to collect a bunch of new knives. That's awesome. Speaking of new knives, so I carried this last night, most of the night, which is the Bostede that I showed you yesterday, but it now has a flipper tab delete, which looks a lot better, and it has a wine colored G10 instead of the green. So it is basically like a new knife. It still has that flaw where it just wants to shut without any kind of trouble at all. So that's cool. Finished that one off, and the flipper tab is very even with the back there in shape and in smoothness, so it worked out good. Got a little bit of a finger choil there now where you can choke up on it a little bit. So that is basically like a brand new knife. This morning I have been working with my little sanding block that I got. And I've been hand rounding off the edges of this, as you can see right there. I cut some of the bolts that I had that I bought while I was down there to length to where I could get it pretty close to tight here. So I've been working on this a little this morning. I've been getting this front rounded off more and evened up, and it is looking good. So yeah, this little sanding thing works great, and it's kind of fun. It's like sitting around whittling. So I'm not sure if I'm going to just do the rest of this by hand a little bit at a time, and then we'll work on the blade next week while I keep getting this kind of rounded up. But I did want to show y'all what I was doing so that y'all would see that. Anyway, I've got that over there. A couple of fellas in the chat are talking about flavors and asked if there was a place on the Discord they could post some of that stuff. So I did make a channel for that. It is named after an old forum that not everybody may know about, but if you don't, it is in there. It's called Overgrow. So feel free to post and talk all you want about that subject in there. Yesterday, I also received a couple more new ones, including my... Okay, we got a shadow. I'm trying to adjust this camera a little bit. I mean, this light, where I don't have shadows. Let me get it adjusted a little bit here. All right, that looks better about the shadow. So I got me a Kunwu Chad, which is one I've been wanting for a while now because of how big it is. It is one of their larger bladed knives. along with the Padre XL, which I have, and the Pulsar XL and the Gringo. And this one is very sharp, and the blade comes very far towards the end of the knife. So the only problem I have with it is if you let it dig into your palm at all, it will bite you when you close it. And the first time I handled it yesterday, it bit me right there. You can see where I had some of the meat. I had it laying right in there, and the blade was so long that when I closed it, so don't let it get any of the fat of your hand into the scale when you close it. Make sure you have it completely free of that. But so far I love it. Action, lockup, size, everything about it feels great. One of the only issues I have is the texture and the roughness of these little thumb pulls, whatever you call them, is a little rough, kind of like a lot of Kunwus. They could use a little sandpaper to smooth them down a little, but I'm not going to even worry about it. They'll wear off with use. Yeah, I got that one yesterday. And I got it for $150, which is a good price on it. It looks like it hasn't been used. There's no marks on it anywhere. That orange peel looks great. It came with the extra wire clip. I'm not sure if it came with this clip and the wire clip, or if he got the wire clip. So I'm not sure, but he did include it in the package. And then I got what is possibly the best deal ever on a Laconico Integral. This is the XLC. Well, guys, we just lost connection. Sorry about losing connection there. I was talking about what I think is the best deal on an integral knife. This is the Monterey Bay Knives Extra Large Carry XLC. You can see Ray Laconico's name on it there. And I said the reason I got this is because it's a 3.75 inch blade, super slicey, thin blade. Love the grind on it. Got it for $100, so like I don't know how you can beat that for an integral designed by Ray, made by Monterey Bay Knives. But yeah, I love it, and it is very similar in size, overall size, to the Chad. Scott, I did not get it. I don't even know if I finished paying for it. But yeah, that's a super cool integral to add to the collection. No, actually, it wasn't network connection that time. It was actually the external Wi-Fi 6 adapter I've got. Sometimes just comes, the USB plug gets plugged into, sometimes just fritzes out and disconnects it and reconnects it. Connection is fine though. But yeah, got that one. Yeah, that makes me wonder about the Blade HQ. I didn't ever get a notification that I needed to finish paying for it. Pretty positive I did buy that, pre-order it. but I haven't had any kind of notifications about it, so that's weird. Yeah, I'm not blaming it on the cat. I don't know why that USB port does that occasionally. I have not figured that one out. I need to actually check into that. Make sure that I did actually order one. I'm pretty positive I did, but let me log in here. Orders. Well, it does not show up under my orders. I wonder if I did it under the other email address, under my Blade Alchemy email address. And that's why I didn't see the message, because I don't check that one nearly as much as I should. Yeah, and maybe I just never even did it. Guess I'm SOL now, huh? Can I still get one for $5? Are they still available? Why am I asking all these questions and don't know the answer? Someone help me out here. Coming soon. Well, heck, let's just go look at the Blade HQ website and see if we can figure that out. What I did wrong, or what I didn't do, or what I thought. I could have sworn I put the $5 down, but evidently I didn't. I definitely was not trying to tell a fib about that. Are they still just $80? Right there. Do they have the drop point? Yes. So, they went up $5 extra. Okay. So you save $5 when you get the when you did the pre-order. Let me turn this off for just a second while we look at the Discord. I get logged in. I don't know my password. Well, I guessed it. I hate their shipping fees also. I think I'm going to wait. I think I can get it cheaper. I don't want to pay $100 for that $80 knife with tax and shipping. But that really sucks. Oh well. Let's see. Pocket check here. There's that BBNM, sorry. Oh, reading. Somebody asked if you got a blade grind redone on it. He said no. Super cool knife. Knife picks. Believe Mr. Ed posted one overnight. Super cool picture. I posted one of each of the knives I got since I've gotten back. And I posted this one, absolute banger, for $100. And size comparison between it and the Chad. So I'm curious about that X-Lock knife. Wondering when other places will have it stock. White Mountain Knives especially. Let me see, what am I doing here? Let me get off this picture. Yeah, that knife looks super cool now without that flipper tab. Very happy it went from that to that. Quite a bit of a change there. Anyway, go back to where we were. Which is right here. Let's see if White Mountain Knives has them yet. I don't know if they have them yet, but nope. So I do not have, but they will be getting it. I can guarantee you that. They have a lot of the other ones. I bet within the week or so they will have them. And you'll be able to get them for $72 with no shipping or tax. Oh, that's a $19 knife, Ed. Yeah, doesn't look too shabby. I like it. What'd you say it was called? Arky Birds? Weird. What a weird name. Really is Arky Birds, huh? So they have it in black and orange. Like he said, it is $19, $20 for the black one, $19 for the orange one. 4.1-inch blade. Wow, it looks good closed too. I don't even mind the orange one. Be a good one to throw in the camp bag and not worry about losing. Oh my goodness. That was very loud. I apologize for that. Let me connect my Bluetooth headset here. It says it's connected, but why is it not the sound source then? Ah, fixed it. They're playing some Robin Hood music in the background of this ad. It's terrible. It's got a big flipper tab that could be taken off. All right then. Need to add that one to the cart just to remember it. So, speaking of new stuff, let's go back to Blade HQ, and since they've released some stuff, let's see what's coming soon again. So, coming soon, Advanced Knife Bro Stumpfish. Huh. What is this wild America? America. S45. Oh, that's Spy 27. All right then. Let's see what else. Tie down, button lock. Man, this fan blowing on me is cold this morning. Woo! $500. Titanium and rose carbon fiber. 9.13 inches long with a 4-inch blade. That's a big boy. Yeah, that's a big knife. I have the Ryson frame lock, 3.3 inch blade. I like the looks of that one. What is this? I guess the most plain one you can get is the darkish one. Ed just posted a picture of the two Arky birds he has. If y'all don't mind throwing a thumbs up on the video while I got you here, it'd be awesome. Yeah, Mr. Ed just posted a picture of both of his Arky birds. Let's see here. Yeah, I like that. Like that Wii quite a bit. Well, what else we got here? Audacious, Brazen, button lock, Bison, tie down button lock, serrated, Godson, Sin cut Vornix, Sabibi Navo. What else we got here? Got Ryson again, Ryson again. MKM. Detonario. That looks a lot like a couple of other larger knives I've already got. What a weird name. At least they did a I mean, they did a decent job at packaging, but what a strange name. Yeah, that's odd. Speaking of carbon fiber blades, what about the one Mr. Fred has? The VC Edge interface, Jason Van Camp. VC Edge interface. That is a wild name. I mean, wild knife. It's a name. So the interface, pretty wild use of carbon fiber. That one is beautiful. But yeah, just about everything in this knife is carbon fiber other than the blade edge, clip, and the pivot, I believe. Yeah, he does some wild, crazy good work. And I believe the little area around the clip also, the lock bar. But yeah, he does crazy good carbon fiber work. Jason Van Camp, I believe. Super cool knife. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. The Metal Complex did a white glove video 2 years ago. So let's check it out for just a minute.
Subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best. Knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the VC Edge interface. Yes, we are finally gonna talk about this knife. Oh man, this thing is so different and so interesting, so unique. I really had to get geared up, you know, to talk about this and make sure that I knew exactly what I was talking about, because this is no regular pocket knife. Buckle up, this is gonna be a fun one. Real quick before we get started, there was a note inside the box of this. This was loaned to me by check out Jim's. I'm always that I got about it was so but I'm gonna, you know, all the facts, if you're not subscribed, wonderful information all around. Thanks to my patrons for support. Jason Van Camp is making these out of California, as far as I understand. I took a quick look at the website, and he started in only 2019, which is that's amazing. I cannot believe how intricate and precise this thing is. Right? Not just the intricate, precise machining, but the way that this thing came together. The work is indicative of somebody who's been doing this for much longer. Now, when I found out that he was is a mechanical engineer, I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Not that I can pretend to know, everything that involves.
We're not going to watch this whole video for sure.
You see a lot of stuff. When I say stuff like this, I mean stuff that is this precision, because this is absolutely unique. Whenever I see it, I think they were probably an engineer, right? So that makes sense. But yeah, started in 2019. These are very, very expensive knives. I know that, the knee-jerk reaction is to immediately reduce the value of the thing to the materials that it is made out of. And let me tell you something. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but that is a child's perspective. That is about the simplest, like applying less than one or not of are two, and with coming in at 8.5 inches, maybe just shy. Now he's in at 3.6, 3.5. Model 1 definition A5. Here we PM2 and into it. Yeah, but it's not my property. Against the sizes full, right? You know what? I don't know what I want to talk about first, the action or the weight, because there's two things that make this really crazy in those. I mean, the detent itself is very, very crisp and it's snappy, right? But it is in combination with the fact that your senses are thrown so far away, not out of the atmosphere, not out of the solar system, not out of the galaxy, not out of the universe, out of the dimension that we all currently reside in. My brain, every single time I deploy this, my brain's like, what's happening? Just trying desperately to like lock on. This knife is so unbelievably lightweight. You know, for anybody who doesn't know, here's what's going on here. The frame, we get it, there's a lot of carbon fiber. Shut up. Just listen for a second. There is so much carbon fiber. This is beautiful unidirectional carbon fiber. But even, you know, most of it's the housing, right? The blade is multiple components here, but the housing of the blade is a lot of carbon fiber. The frame is a lot of carbon fiber, but it's thin, right? And then even on the lock side, there's minimal titanium that has been, deeply milled, right? So, this knife, why does it take him so long to weigh it? I know, you guys already know. There's only weighs, 1.55 ounces. Now, what that does, with the
blade being so light, anyway.
No way. So, well, you
can see what it is.
Like, under natural circumstances. The fact that
we're not going to watch this video, but you can go back and watch it if you'd like to.
It's not
super cool knife. Mr. Fred has got one.
Knife that I have.
I'm not sure which number Mr. Fred has, but he does have a few available on his website at the moment, it looks like. Whoops, let me go back. So he's got number 76. He's got a version 3 coming out. Oh, wow. 8-month estimated delivery. Not sure what's going on with that picture, because that's just a clip in the picture there. It probably looks very similar. 5 to 7 month delivery time. So he's got number 78, number 74, 75, 78, and 76. I myself, if I had the money, would definitely pick up the one I clicked on. Yeah, super cool. Wow. Wild craftsmanship on this knife. And the core is M390 blade steel. Sandwich there. Man, that's just wild stuff going on. In fact, I'm going to share these photos, if possible. See if I can find them. Yep, there it is right there. There it is. Good quality image too. We scroll down to this next one here and try to find it. I will do this off air and post a big nice post of these photos once I get them all downloaded. I don't know why I said that so weird. But I'll have to inspect each one because he has got a zoom thing built in that usually limits your right click ability. But I've got them all so far, so I'll get all those and I'll post this one just to have a pretty knife pick. Let's see. Yeah, there are people that are willing to wait much longer than I would. I'd be mad if I paid the guy and it's taking him a year to deliver a knife. I didn't know that, Ed, but yeah, that's kind of crappy. You shouldn't sell knives so far ahead of time that you can't keep them made. You shouldn't have 4 on your website if you haven't fulfilled orders that people paid you for. My opinion. check out the new BLADEALCHEMY knife. Do you know who makes it? Scott? I don't know why my keyboard. Oh, you talking about the Hazard? Yeah, we've already looked at that one. I'm not sure if that's the one you're talking about, but probably so, since that's what popped up when I typed Bally lock. Oh yeah, I guess that is the only one with that lock. Oh yeah, I get it, Ed. I'd be mad too. Good morning, Ground Fog. Hope you're doing well, sir. Let's see here. Let me go back to where we're coming soon here. We got off on the carbon fiber topic. Chrome. Huh. 3.1 inch chrome. Why does it say chrome? Is the blade steel? Why did I know it's not 3.1 inches when it's closed? It's 4.7 inches. So why did they combine the 3.1 inch and chrome? The blade is S35 VN, so it's maybe he chromed the flats. Maybe they chromed the flats. I don't know. That's just weird. Yeah, I guess so. I guess they did. Then again, it's not 3.1 inches of chrome. Only about 2 inches of chrome. Got to get those buzzwords in there. Old advertising. Guess we've seen most all the rest of these. Oh, I've got a Kaiser Quell. Now they've got a Quoll. That's pretty cool. Titanium Damascus pattern. Rainbow Dam is what they're calling it. Yeah, that's a nice little front flipper. Super cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm going to add somebody I want to get rid of theirs pretty quickly after getting it on Knife Swap, so I'm going to add Quoll, SQUOLL, to my whatever alerts. So when one of those pops up for $100 or something, or 120, I will get it. Quoll. Quoll is added now. Yeah, I like that pattern. And that one's $20, $30 cheaper. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah, the original 2. That's pretty cool too. I hadn't seen that yet. Slacking. Yeah, I said I didn't need any more crossbar knives at the moment, but that one looks pretty cool. I can dig it. Looks like they have quite a few varieties of it. $70 to $160. Even got aluminum versions. Black blade, silver blade. The Beaver 2. Kaiser Camp 180. with a 5.55 inch blade. That's probably a pretty good price, 80 bucks for that fixed blade. AEBL blade material. That's a blade material I'm still don't have, I believe. Might have it on one knife. That's a Jonathan Styles design. Jonathan Styles design fixed blade, huh? That's pretty cool. I like Jonathan Styles. Seemed like a good guy when I met him, even though he is Canadian. Wow, why did that jump so far ahead? Oh yeah, we should be getting our Strix soon, huh? They should be coming any day now. That's the version I got. Just the plain version. Sean Soto. I've got a thought. Let me show you something that may fix your debate. So, you're talking about the little fixed blades. There's a guy on Knife Swap right now that has a Mini Bravo fixed blade for sale. And he has a super good price on it. So let me show you that real quick. We'll check that out. 2 days ago. See if it's still available down here. He had a bunch of knives for sale. Yeah. He might not have. This might not be the guy. It's actually another guy. So this SOCOM sold. Oh, if you're talking about, are you talking about the fixed blade or the folding version? Maybe it wasn't a Mini Bravo that I was talking about, but a guy had a bunch of fixed blades, including the Microtech one, the SOCOM fixed blade. And I could have sworn it was... Yeah, this is the guy right here. He has a SOCOM Alpha. Oh, yeah, this is the fixed blade. But I was digging it and almost made him an offer on it, but he's got that one listed for $270. And I bet you could offer him like $220 and maybe get it for that. This guy had a bunch of interesting little fixed blades for sale. None of them were scout carry. They were set up for scout carry, so that's why I didn't buy one. But he had a Hog Badger, which is this one. He had a Spartan Harsey Defensa, which I liked also. He had a Jed Horn Beak, short rib. That's the one I was going to buy, if any of them, if it would have had scout carry. I love everything about it, including the sheath. I mean, that's a cool little knife. And a guy like this that has a bunch of, I guess he's into fixed blades, is going to have some fire because he knows what he's looking at. Whereas I wouldn't have ever seen this version of this knife without looking at it here. Then we got a Dogwood Custom Knives Echo 3. This guy definitely has a style he likes. All these sheaths look very similar, which is kind of surprising to me. And then that one was only $100. The other ones are $300 high 200s. And then he's got that one again that I showed. Yeah, I figured out you meant folding, but I was going to show this post anyway. Um, I will show you one thing. I love the LUDT as far as size goes. Let me grab mine over here, and we will look at its size. I'm back home, so kind of got my knife sorted a little bit better when I was there. This one has a Supreme Edyard on it. Actually, no. It's got one of the worst possible lanyards ever. Man, the sound on this knife is so nice. Like the detent click down here sounds really good, especially when you just let it barely fall into it. I mean, it's got that nice click. I didn't even know until receiving this knife that it was an integral. I didn't even know I was buying an integral. Like, so you don't know how happy I was for $100 that I got a Ray integral to go with my integral collection. I was like a kid at Christmas. I didn't even know. I didn't even pay attention when I was buying it that it was an integral. I just knew it was called extra large carry. It was made by Ray and Monterey Bay Knives. It had a very slicey blade, and I wanted it, so I got it. Oh yeah, I forgot. I meant to break this out real quick before we talk about the LUDT. It's the Monterey Bay Knives XLC, extra large carry. And this is it next to their watch pocket knife. That's also a Monterey Bay knife. And the blade on it is about as long as that. They both have the Monterey Bay Knives logo. Yeah, this is a Vastid. They changed the name. It's the Nightshade, but they turned it into the Shilling Cutter. But I dyed the handles on these wine yesterday and deleted the flipper tab on it. I talked about that earlier, but you weren't here. All right, so back to the LUDT. So my only experience with it is this one. Yeah, this one's terrible, Ed. It just came with it, or it wouldn't even have it on there. But let me at least get the strings the same length. Jeez. Now the strings. All right. So LUDT. Oh my God. It barely touched that knife and made a noise and freaked me out. All right, let me get those out of the way. It's a great size knife. I've got big hands, and I can get all four fingers right between those two curve places. Yeah, it's a real good size. And the jimping feels really good on the back here. And I like the flatness of it. I like any knife. I don't know, there's lots of knives where they spend the extra time to mill out two pieces. They eliminate the backspacer, and I like those knives. Kershaw does some of that also, I believe. I believe my Launch 20 is like that. But I like when companies spend that extra time just to. And this one feels thin, not too thin. I mean, it's a good size. Like thickness wise, let's see, it's thicker than the longer bladed integral. But this is a fake one. And it really springs out there pretty quick. Yeah, there's so many knife topics that sound suggestive. We're always talking about lengths and how things feel and fit together, and those just end up being suggestive. So they are minefield. I try to just save it for really apparent good ones, but I get overboard a little bit myself. I like the 3 clips on the 3 screws on the clip. Yeah, Louis, I want a Bel Air XL. This is a fake one and not real. And you can find these for pretty cheap. So if you really want to get one, I would say grab one of these first and then make sure that you really want it. And then give this to a friend and buy the real one if you do. Yeah, they're very simple to find. All right, back to where we were here. Oh man, I just closed all those images I had spent the time to open. I'll go back and get them. In fact, I wonder if I go back to that website and I look at number 75 again. I wonder if I can hit this up here and get all of them at once. Yes, I can. Oh, y'all can't even see that, or maybe you can. I don't think you can though. So these are the full size images. So I'm going to highlight all these. 2160 by 3840. All right. I believe that's all. Why am I repeating myself, or is those the same? I don't know. Maybe I'm doubling up here. Yeah, I think. All right, that might have been all of them. And then download 16 images. And wow, it downloaded them all really quick. That was cool. I think one of them failed. I wonder if I can retry it. Copy download link. We type that in. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that makes it easy. All right. Anyway, there we go. Back to where we were. Blade HQ coming soon. My Strix should be here any day. It should be shipping any day. And something else. Oh yeah, something else I forgot to mention yesterday because I was talking all about the fuller on the new Remet Two Face being so perfect for reverse flicking that I didn't even talk about these two different blade areas. I don't know. I think that's probably the only part of the knife I don't like. And I think they tried to tie together the two-face theme with being able to move this flipper tab from a front flipper to a regular flipper by screwing it in either place. I think they've continued that two-face theme through by giving it two faces on the blade. So it has worked. Actually, I'm lying. I tried to open a package with it and it was dull as hell. I did buy it from a guy that, to save some money, that looks like he didn't use it much, but he might have done a cut test with it because it's dull. So I do need to sharpen it. And I'm just not a fan of those two flat grinds. Like, I don't mind with one of them being hollow and then the other one being flat, but I wish they would have made this hollow one bigger somehow. Maybe made it continue past the fuller and then put the little flat swedge at the end. So you'd have a little bit of both blade. That's the only time I like that kind of line on it. But otherwise, this knife is awesome. I love the looks of it. Profile. I love the jimping and but my favorite part is that fuller. It's the perfect size, shape, and everything for reverse flick. But when you choke, and I love this flat area. See, like that's something different that a lot of companies don't do, is add that big flat. And it lets you just be able to kind of pick where you want to get the most comfortable. And then that jimping and that curve going down, your thumb actually lands perfect on that, and it feels like it locks it in. Yeah, there's a lot of good ergonomics about this knife too that I love. And I've said Remet's been doing their thing. They have. This is another prime example. And more knives should have the ability. I mean, mill a hole in the blade where you can screw the flipper tab in either place. And then sell an extra one if people want to have both. But yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Silver LUD just popped up on Blade Bins. Let's go check that out before we get back to the last little bit of Blade HQ. See, Reddit. Cancel knife swap. LUDT. New 8 minutes ago. Well, it really did just pop up. You weren't lying. Oh, it's got a serrated edge. If that's not, that might not be a deal breaker for you, but it is for me. I can't do a serrated edge. Natural clear aluminum scales. Let's look at the picture of it at least. Oh, single edge. Not serrated edge. I don't know why I was thinking serrated. Single edge instead of DE, you dummy. So it's not serrated. I was lying. It's a single edge, which I don't know why they need to say that. Do they make a double sharpened version of that? Wow, I didn't even realize that. Let's get down here to the pictures of it though. Yeah, that's a good deal. That carbon fiber looks extra grippy. Good grief. Looks like that might actually hurt you. So here, I'm gonna help you out. Uh, I'm gonna get you started here. Would you take 160 for the LUDT? I'm gonna put in a offer a 160 so we can see if you got any kind of wiggle room. If you're interested in it, maybe by the end of the show he'll respond. This one has M390. Comes in the original box, apocalyptic finish on the blade / clip. So, yeah. Means the blade and the clip won't show scratches. Got a heavy stone wash on the blade and the clip. It's sold. What's up? Why didn't he mark it sold? Alright, I'll delete my comment then. Oh, he just hasn't marked anything yet, so sorry, it's sold. Thanks, TC. I wasn't paying attention. Anybody claim anything else? Doesn't look like it, huh? Dang, that went quick. Why is my mouse not working? Oh, it's not even crossed out on mine yet, so I must need to refresh. Did he cross it out on this one? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it says sold. He was in the process of editing it, I guess. I like when they tell you who it's sold to. So I want to give y'all a big tip on how to use Knife Swap and how to find stuff. And this is a secret that I use, and I probably shouldn't give it out on the internet. But not everybody is willing to spend the time to do it anyway, so I figure I might as well give it out. But the secret to how I find a lot of knives that are not for sale to buy is by keeping up. When you find a knife that you want that was listed 6 months ago, try to figure out who bought the knife. Because even though that knife is sold on that ad, there's a person in that post there that has that knife. So that knife is still out there. So don't give up on this first guy's post that sells it, because a lot of these guys go through knives left and right. So like, this is a very good example. Right now, I know that I could message this guy right this second and tell him, hey, if you don't like the LUDT, I'll buy it from you. Now, I'm not going to lie and say this to him, but it's a good way to build relationships. If you don't like that LUDT, I'll say probably take it off your hands. So you can send something like that to them, or you can just straight up ask them. So a lot of times the way I find knives is I'll search for a knife that hasn't sold in like a year, and I'll try to figure out who bought it, and I'll message that person, and by the end they know the price has dropped on it, and they're tired of it. It's been sitting in a shelf, in a box or whatever. And so you can pick up knives that aren't listed on there. So our buddy in the channel, John, I meant to mention this to him the other day. He's trying to find a knife, and he found one that sold a year ago. And I forgot to mention to him that he needs to try to figure out who bought it and message them. It's a really good way to pick up knives. But you have to be willing to search around and find those people and get them to answer you. So it takes a little work, but to me it's worth it to find knives that aren't available. Wow, 50% off on Kershaw's right now at Knife Joy. Let's go see if that's real and works on everything. Let's see. Let's go to the search here and type in Kershaw. And oh wow, they're just gonna have the ultra cheap versions, huh? Maybe not. Let's see if they got a Bel Air. Is there a dash? I can't remember. Yeah, there we go. So there's a Bel Air out of stock. Yeah. Both of those are out of stock. So, all right. Let me go back to my Kershaw search. They have no way of being able to sort by price or anything. Do they have a Iridium? They're out of stock on both of those also. Well, let's see if they have what launch versions they have. Out of stock. They're getting rid of all their Kershaw stock, it looks like. They're out of stock on everything. Every single launch knife. Yeah, they're 50% off. They're getting rid of what they got. So if you're a fan of Kershaw, the Leak is a good utility knife. Let me see if that code works. What was the code again? Kershaw deal. Kershaw deal discount code isn't valid for items in your cart. Maybe we missed it. It was 2 days ago. Yep, I guess we missed it. Oh well. I should have been browsing Reddit a little better. Sean, see you later, buddy. Yeah, this guy had some nice knives for sale yesterday also, for a decent price. That that one, the top one up there, the green one, is a Cobra Tech hidden release and a Vorpal, and they're pretty nice looking little knives. Like for they work like the magic knife from ProTech. You know, you slide the front of the scales to the right, and it's an auto. But the little green one looked pretty decent. I don't think he picks it up and shows it on the video where I just was here in a second. Yeah, here it goes. So yeah, it looks like a good size. And you just slide the top scale to the right. Got D2 blades still though. But they're only like 80 bucks new. That's a cool little knife. Let's go back to the coming soon. Picasso slip joint. Picasso Lucent Large dual action OTFs. I'd like to see those Picasso Lucents, see what they look like. Let's see if we can find dang it. Without having to do a bunch of searching. Okay. The California legal version isn't that bad. That's a company I'm keeping an eye on and I like so far. I heard about them and I've liked them ever since I heard about them. So yeah, I can dig it. What does the button look like? Alright, looks just like a Microtech. Pretty much anything else. That is a thin, stabby looking knife. Huh. That's interesting. Let's see. I want to see that Savrento too. Hopefully there'll be a picture of it. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, there's something about their lines. They're very, very clean lines on most all of their knives. I like that a lot. That's a very clean knife. Love that wraparound clip too. Ultra deep carry. What a cool little knife. 2 ounces exactly. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That'll be another word that I can add to my knife swap alerts. And it shouldn't have any cross contamination with other posts. That word pops up, Savrento. It should be that knife. So I just added it, so I will get notified if one of those pops up. It's a good way to keep up with knives you want to buy. Whenever I see them pop up on Knife Swap now, it'll remind me that I want to get one even if I miss it or it's too expensive. It kind of keeps them in my rotation. And we've been talking about that buck knife for a while. I think I might get one to try just because I don't have any good American buck knives. So I might try out one of the new, whatever it's called. Y'all know. One they've been promoting, new arrivals. We go to new arrivals, we'll see it. I can't remember the name of it, but it won't be too far down here because they've been really trying to promote it. It'll be right past these Microtechs, I believe. Yeah, that new Nano Shark, I've heard good things about it so far. Come on, where are you, Buck? Y'all probably already said the name by now. I don't know why the search didn't. Maybe it'll let me do it by a date. I'm not seeing the bucks yet. Can't believe that they're this far down. There it is, the Range Elite. So this one is probably the one I want because it's the big boy. So buck $791. Wonder if, I'm pretty sure whoever sells one on Knife Swap will type that in, so I will add that as a keyword. It'll be a couple months before one of those pops up because they're new. I don't want to pay the $220 for a buck, that's for sure. But I want a buck. I want a buck. That's nice. I can represent America with. Not been a huge fan of American Knives, but I'd like to support them when I can, and I don't have any bucks, so pretty wild color pattern on that one. All right, back to where we were. Then we'll go finish this up, move on. Seeing those little buck 3-blade knives. I don't have a tops knife either, but Joe X, I don't have a Bushi or whatever it's called, or a tops. Pretty much due to Joe X saying they didn't perform very well. Yeah, Boker's really been pumping some knives out too recently. Even including these $500 ones. It's kind of wild to me. Still. Oh, that reminds me. The Gambit series knives should be shipping soon. I got my Kickstarter update. The Ray Laconico Gambits. So those are going to come in around the same time as the Strix does. And that Spark EDC knife is in production now, so I got the update on it. I can't even think what it's, the spin, yeah. So it's actually in production.
Let's face it, your hands spin, fidget, and cut. Leather, paper, plastic, rope. Grip with comfort. Flip with a snap. Slice through tasks. Clean, quick, every time. Or you don't even need to open it. Click, twist, spin, satisfy the urge. Again.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. Morning, Sever 7. Okay, I'll do that, Sever 7. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'll check that out. But I like that Boker too. What's the overall length? It doesn't tell. Just says 3.4-inch blade. I bet we can go see on their website. Maybe. Maybe not. Nope, of course not. 500 pieces worldwide. 62 to 63 HRC Magna Cut. Maybe he measured it all. Got a weight on it. 5.64 ounces. 3.38 inches on the blade, but we don't have an overall length. Oh well. He said that knife is BS. I like the fidget factor of knives. We all like the fidget factor of knives. So adding a little more fidget factor to me doesn't hurt anything. Stassa did a review of it, and he said it doesn't even create a hot spot. So yeah, we all fidget with our knives, so don't lie to yourself and say you don't like fidgeting with your knife. But you may not like extra added fidgets. I guess for some reason of how they look to other people. I would think adding like a toy little aspect to it might calm them down a little bit instead of make them madder. I didn't know knives were illegal. Unless you're in the UK. I'm glad the knife laws in Tennessee are what they are. You can carry anything, a sword. Ballistic knives are the only thing illegal, I guess. Fox knives, that's a big thick boy. Pro Hunter, 8.5 inches overall. I like that micarta. Liner lock. I mean, it looks like a SR. It looks like a SR1, SR11, SR something. Maybe a SR1. That's another knife. Another integral I would like is this SR11 or the SR1, I believe. Let's see, what is the SR1? Might be wrong about that. No, that is the one. But that Pro Hunter looks a lot like that knife. Yeah, the only thing illegal here, I believe, is ballistic knives. Like I said, I'm lucky. What is going on with that? That's the tool it comes with, huh? Yeah, they have cool little boxes. Good Italian Pride. I want one of those. That Pro Hunter reminded me of it. I love how they leave out pictures of knives that definitely have pictures. And that Doc Schiffer makes a few knives that I want too. I wouldn't mind that one. But he actually has another knife that I want. I can't remember what it is. It's one of his folders. I guarantee if I type in his name and Arizona Custom Knives, I will find it. Let's see. It was one of his older knives, but I can't remember. You know, now that I think about it, might have been one of, I don't, if he made the Recon a long time ago, I don't think that's it though. But yeah, I guess it could have been a Recon. He's still making the same model that I had as one of my Grail picks back 9 months ago or so. I've forgotten about that knife. Doc Schiffer. I think it might have been the Recon. Because man, that's a pretty knife. Yeah, I like the Recon. I like that version. That was pretty dang sexy. See what else we got here. So he's got the 3-inch and the 3.5 inch of that knife that he makes. And a 2.75 inch. That's pretty cool. Wonder if, yeah, some of these are production knives that you can get at like Blade HQ, like this one. But that's a mean looking knife. It's only got a 3-inch blade though. Wish it was bigger. That logo is large. Yeah, thank you, Ed. That's got that AEBL blade. Let's see, Recon. Well, Doc. Recon Doc. So the production ones. Huh. Well, I going to send off an email real quick. Give me a second. Yeah, so there's a down here somewhere contact. LoveThemKnives@gmail.com. All right. Yeah, thanks for that link, Ed. So anyway, I guess we're about done browsing Blade HQ for today. Go back here before we end up leaving. Start winding this one down. Let's see how this knife compares in size before we go to the Padre XL. Sorry. I was trying to read my cases and figure out which one is which. And I found the right one, but hopefully. So, blade length wise, they're very close. Yeah, I looked up the biggest ones they make and found out that it's the the Padre XL, the Pulsar XL, the Gringo, and the Chad. And of course, there are some newer ones coming out with some long blades also. And I've got the Pulsar XL somewhere, but it's about the same length, blade wise. What's going on, Pete? This color is wine, and it's a little darker than it shows up. It looks more like that without the light. You can see the dark. But if you want to know what Rit wine looks like over natural G10, that is what it looks like. It's kind of a plum kind of color. It's a wine color, believe it or not. Yeah, it's been a good knife week. I mean, heck. All those in 1 week is a great week. I'm very happy with those. I usually don't get that many nice knives in a week, and that one doesn't count, so. Oh, it's all right, Pete. Did you take that channel knife and get it sharpened? I was curious if you ever did that with your buddy. Where's the case for this little Monterey Bay knives? Oh, here it is. This little thing is funny, though. It's pretty funny when a knife can fit in a little tiny Ziploc bag like this. Oh, by the way, I got my blue version of this watch. And it is absolute. It has got it's got one of those things on it that makes you go, what are those? Like when somebody has on some crappy tennis shoes. What is that? So the stem on this thing is ridiculously sized. But otherwise, it's great. But the stem is giant. It's not supposed to be that big at all. But the band is very nice, as well as the decorated movement. And this one was just $62, which is pretty wild. And like I said, everything about the face looks great, but then you look over here and you're like, what are those? I bought one of the cheap $62 ones to do a review of for my subreddit one of my watch subreddits. I wanted to let the guys know what you get for that $62 price tag. Whoops. I just did something with a keyboard. My keyboard is going nuts. Holy cow. That was pretty wild. But here, I'll show you the... Hold on. I didn't mean to type those 2 dashes. My keyboard did it. I didn't do it. Alright. But yeah, this is how it's supposed to look. You can see how little that stem is. Look how giant this thing is. It's like twice the size. I mean, it really is like twice the size of what it's supposed to be. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it is such a dead giveaway that it makes me never want to put it on again. But like I said, the band is great. I'm going to try to find a stem that I can take apart the watch, but I don't know that the threads will be the right size for me to put a smaller stem in it. But I might try to do that because, man, that stem is just a dead giveaway. Yeah. Anyway, thought I'd mention that before we left. For you watch guys that like watches. But I was thinking about what I got this week, and that was part of it. So, going to start ending this one down. If y'all haven't smashed that thumbs up button, please do so. I will be your best friend. Yeah, Pete. I've got one down here that I keep forgetting I bought. It's from Addie's Dive, who makes some super cool watches. I got this one to wear with like khaki pants. It's not really my color, but it's not a replica either. It's an original watch, but it's that kind of taupe like brown color. And these are very inexpensive watches. Got a textured, like, it's got no logo. I got this one with no logo. They have one with their logo, but they also sell a blank one. So it's just a super clean, being able to tell what time it is watch. And wow, I haven't touched it in a month and it's still keeping correct time. So look at that. But if you haven't checked out Addie's Dive brand, you should do so. They have some nice inexpensive watches and they're a original brand. Anyway, I'm going to, like I said, I probably will take this to work with me. Wait, I don't work tonight. I'm still on vacation. But during the week before Thursday, we're going to start working on the blade steel coming Thursday. But I'm going to sit here, and it's kind of just like therapeutic to just run this little sanding pad around these edges to get them all rounded out. And I've started running around all of them. Yeah, and I've started working on this a lot and trying to get this top matched up. But it's just kind of fun to sit here and hand sand stuff. It reminds me of sitting on the porch and whittling. And this little block is working great that I bought, that little aluminum block. You just cut the paper off, and it pulls it tight because of the way these grooves are. So it pulls it super tight, which is awesome. And these are made to sand leather crafting, but it works perfect for this little chore. And it's just one of those things, like I said, that it's kind of like therapeutic, because you can, once you start working on this, you can just sit here for like 45 minutes, an hour passes by. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to get the file guide put together to start filing the bevels on this knife. And we got to put the holes in the scale for weight reduction. I want to make the choil a little bigger, because after making this one, after feeling this one, it needs to be a little deeper. And that's matches up with that one so far. So I want to make it a little bigger. It is bigger on the blade because this is just the bottom part of it. It's just the bottom half of it where they sit like right there. So it's not, so there's a lot more of the the choil up there on the blade part. There was a couple of spots on here. I just ran this across here just like that, and it got rid of that patina. So this little thing is going to come in handy for lots of things. Yeah, anyway, guys, appreciate you being here. We will do it again tomorrow. 2 more episodes until the episode 250 giveaway. We're getting closer to 1 million views, total views. That's awesome. I just got my first YouTube payout, which is pretty wild. I posted it on the Discord. So I'm almost where I can quit my job now. Jokes. Yeah, it wasn't much. I didn't care if it was 2 pennies. It was just the fact that it accomplished something. It took like 3 months to build up to $100 or something. So I was just proud they finally sent me a payout. Thank you, Mr. John. Yeah, $110. Man, I mean, if I lived in a small African village, might could make it for a whole month on that, but not going to do much here. But it's just more of the accomplishment. Doesn't really matter to me. It's not why I did this to begin with. I wanted them to make them send me a paper check, and I was just going to hang it on the wall. But you know how it is nowadays. It's all digital. They use some kind of service. I don't know, some kind of, probably another company they own. It's called Hyper Wallet. Yeah, it's a PayPal space. So they don't, yeah, it's all conglomerate. Hyper Wallet, what they use for payments now. So they load up your Hyper Wallet, and you can transfer money out of your Hyper Wallet wherever you want to. It's already linked to PayPal. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. If you need me, hit me up. If not, we'll be here again tomorrow. Hope y'all have a great start to your week. And yeah, I could consider the fact that John, what I was thinking about doing is doing a laser etch on the inside of this knife and say something like paid for with my first YouTube check, and laser engrave the inside of this one. Since it was $100, and they paid me 110, I thought that might be a cool thing to do. Man, the sound of this thing is great though. Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. I'm out of here.